This world is so very sad that there's so many victims. And then you have the extreme abuse, uh, starvation, and kids wearing the same old clothes. Uh, God, I was thinking if they were sexually abused, they wouldn't even have made it out of the house. Like, they wouldn't have been able to think, you know. Like, just that much, devastation, that much trauma. Like, here's brand new clothes, but you have to wear the same old clothes for years. Oh my God. Peanut butter and bread was the only thing that they ate, and they survived. But oh my God, it just shows you how strong. That proves how strong humans are. Like these kids are deprived from day one, and to be able to make it. The girl finally was able to get out of her parents' window on the second floor, just jump out and make that phone call, 911. Never ever was outside, so she didn't know the difference between a street and a sidewalk. Oh my God. She didn't know. She was afraid, that, oh my God, the officer's might do what her parents did to her. Stick her in a cage. She didn't know. Well, she just knew she had to do this. And what made her do it is her crying brothers and sisters. Her younger crying because they were starving them to death. So she just couldn't take it. She had to say, yeah, well, right now two of my siblings are chained up and we're starving. There's filth everywhere. She had to get out. She had to say the truth. And it's just so sad that, the truth shouldn't be that hard to say, but it is in this world, in this backwards world. All the abusers get to do whatever they want. And okay, their parents are in prison for life now, but so what? They destroyed 20 years of these kids' lives. From somewhere almost 30. I think she was saying their ages. So it was over 25. One, I think, was 28. Oh my God. 28 years of total abuse. Except for, the one time they got married. Oh boy. And they had to all fake it. Or else she was convinced that they'll all be separated. That's what she don't want. Them being separated. And it's one thing that's really good about my grown atheist boys. That they weren't separated. And late Arthur Hasselhoff III, honoring the dead, even though the guy was such an asshole and he was an insane abuser, he did not want his boys to be separated. But, they do have each other, but they're opposite, and they're not really in each other's lives. But I'm glad that I had children. But the hurtful thing was, if I never had them, I never would have went through all my hell. Was it worth it? No, hell is not worth it. No. Another person treating you like hell is not worth it in any way. It's not worth it at all. That's not worth it. My kids are worth it, but, separate the two. Like, why would I have to go through hell, to have kids? And all the lies. Keeping dirty little secrets. Like, it's not a little secret. It's a big secret. Dirty big secrets that can't be known. Literally that 17-year-old girl, I want to know what her name is. Literally, if she would have been caught by either the mom or the dad, they would have just killed her. If they would have seen her, if for some reason they would have been outside or looked through the window and be like, oh wait, or they heard a thump or something, she would have been dead. And nobody would have seen it. That's what's so sad about it. She might not have been able to make it to that cop, I mean, I really hate people saying, everything was meant to be. I really hate that. Because that means all the abuse in the world was meant to be. Those poor children who suffered 30 years of their life, some were, it probably ranged from like 5 to 28, however old they were. Like, that's, that's not worth it. That's not, but there's so much of it in the world, nothing's ever done, about any abuse, and especially domestic violence. It's like, the neighbors knew something was weird was going on, but then if you get involved, then maybe, they'll cause problems for their neighbors. They don't want to get hurt themselves. Literally, it's a hard thing to do to get away from abusers. Like, man. I never, I seen a tiny bit of that story, The House of Horrors. I did. But I never ever, took it in. Like, I saw their faces, and I did, barely hear the story. And now, YouTube is a miracle that you can have all this information. Information highway. You can learn anything you want. It's all there. What happened to that person? What is that girl's name that ran out of that? She rescued her brothers and sisters at 17, running outside. What's her name? And, they, it should be more than them going to prison. They should be, interviewed, how? Why are you so insane? How many demons do you think you have in you? Well, we made a demon thermometer and, little gauge of the Ghostbusters, little machine to decipher how many demons you have. Okay, let's put it on you. And wow, it's so good that pretend a lot narcissist never had a child or ever, he probably abused me the most of all anybody in his life. It was, that length of time. And, it's nothing compared to, shit. That. There's people literally tortured every day, but because I was tortured at such a young age, my first thoughts were, I want to die. And that carried on into my kindergarten and grade school. I'm the biggest nerd in the world. I'm weird. Why does nobody like me? Because I wore a skirt in Catholic skirt in the church, and I was always spitting. So I spit wads of mucus out and put them in the pleats of my skirts. Gross. And a girl noticed that. Ew, what are you doing? Well, I need napkins. Gross. No, I spit on my bed underneath the pillow, just gobs and gobs. Just because I was ew. I hated myself. I just felt weird. I can't do anything right. I hated myself. And that was an imprint from ever since I can remember. And it's not my fault. It's my abuser's fault. So it is their fault entirely. Almost ruining me for life. It's their fault. It truly is. People have no right to do that. They should be reprimanded a hell of a lot worse than just being thrown in prison for 30 years of torturing their kids, basically. I mean, I really want to know the fucking whole story now. They should have made a movie out of it. Oh my God. That's insane. But then, be like, you're super delusional. Like, what the hell? What's your explanation for this? You were abused as a kid. What the fuck? You didn't have to torture all your children. I don't even... 13 of them. Wow. Totally insane. And I got away with it. Because, nobody gets involved. Real love is getting involved. Real love is like... somebody, like a neighbor would have paid attention more. And then just kind of figured, oh, okay. They left in the car. Alright, grab the kids, or it doesn't matter. A neighbor could have saved them earlier, but they did get saved, but because of her. And she could have got killed. And then they could have killed all the 13 kids and nobody would have known about the story. Right? Anything could have happened. Oh, David. I don't even know what the fuck her name is. It starts with an L. Oh, what are we gonna do? We'll just kill all our children. Do we have to? Yeah. Like, what would have happened? That's why I say Earth is hell, because, the abuser never ever gets it, and staying in prison is not enough to be tortured. No. They should be in chains, like they're kids. But I mean, just be like, in all reality, they should be working for their children for the rest of their lives. And all the money be given to the children. That is good justice. There is, like, what the hell, you have them in prison for? Alright, fine. They can't harm anybody else, but the victims don't get any, they should be paid by their insane parents. David and the girl's name start with an L. They should be paid. Like, they should be working for the rest of their lives and all of their pennies be going to their children and be fed only bread and peanut butter, and that's it, and water to keep them alive, to keep them to work, and have chains on them. And that should be what that couple should have to do. Man, just having them in prison, well, some prisons aren't that bad. I'd still want to know what Bill Cosby's prison was. He didn't have it that bad. You know, people don't. You know, he should be tortured. I mean, the parents should be tortured like they tortured their kids, but every single penny, which wouldn't be much, every single penny they make goes to all those kids. They should have made a movie on that. That's a crazy, really super crazy